Welcome again to the Old Principle. We're studying English, we're studying stories, we're studying maybe a little of the Old Principles philosophy too. At least you're going to get a little exposure to this. This story comes from American history, and it's most fascinating. Number 136, times were different. Don't you wish you looked like that? Man alive. Yes, I've never worn clothes like that. 时代就不同，时代就不同。Okay, so this is a little lesson in history and its realities, 是现实. So we'll ask Mrs. Ash to join us here and talk about times were different.
That's right.
Okay.
In the western frontier, there were 4 men to every woman, and a single female didn't remain single for long. At dawn in western Tennessee, as Adam Sanders went to get a bucket of water from the well, renegade Indians attacked. Adam was shot with an arrow in his chest and cried out as he fell. In the house, Ida heard his cry and knew that the Indians had attacked. One man opened the door and looked inside. Ida grabbed the gun, and the renegade was killed. Ida ran to the entrance, shut it, and lowered the bar to lock it. Even as I tell this story, the whole idea of killing seems foreign to me. But those were harsh and lawless times. A loud knocking rattled the door, and soon a hole appeared, and an Indian stuck his head in to look around. That renegade was killed as the woman tried valiantly to save herself and her children. Then Ida heard someone on the roof. She guessed that one of the Indians planned to climb down the chimney. She lit a quick fire. The Indian yelled, lost his balance, and fell into the room. He was killed. The rest of the renegades gave up and ran away. Ida and the children mourned their loss and buried Adam in the yard. About a month later, a handsome young trapper dismounted by the gate. "I'm John Brighton," he announced, "and I've come to extend my condolences over the loss of your husband." He tied up his horse and came right to the point. You'll be needing a man to make things work properly on this place. The preacher will be in town tomorrow. Ida, will you marry me? Why, yes, Mr. Brighton. I'd be very pleased to marry you. Well, that was a short courtship, the length of which was measured in nanoseconds. Again, I say that the times were different. I even debated whether to tell this story, because I personally don't watch killing on TV. I don't even have a TV for that reason. But I know of a real place where there will be no more killing. Most people call it heaven.
Thank you. Yeah, I really did struggle with this, 很挣扎, because, but this is real life. This is history.
Yes.
And it's an opportunity for us to hope and wish for a better place,
Yes,
right?
yes, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. You're free for a minute, at least, or two. Okay, number 136, times were different. You'll see this man. He looks like a pioneer, a trapper, something from a long, long time ago. Okay, so with that, we move on to where we start. in the western frontier. Okay, western 西部的蛮荒的地区. Okay, western frontier. This is the edge. This is where the edge, beyond which there's nobody. Nothing is developed, 没有发展的. Okay, and so there were 4 men to every woman. There were 4 men to every woman. So there were 4 men and just 1 woman. And a single female didn't remain single for long. Okay? A single female, 还没有结婚的这个女的 didn't remain single for long. 没有办法继续做单身的. So they got married. Okay, because there are 4 men and they all wanted wives, right? So that's the way it was in those early days. At dawn, 黎明的时候, okay, 黎明的时候, in western Tennessee, Tennessee 州的西部, as Adam Sanders, 当 Adam Sanders 是一个人的名字, went to get a bucket of water, 去他是带一个 bucket, 这个水桶, okay, from the well, 从这个水井就拿一桶水, okay, a bucket of water. Renegade Indians attacked. Renegade. Okay, this is interesting. 印第安人 is Indians. Okay? And renegade, well, what are renegades? 叛乱者. They are people that are not easily controlled. So these are renegade Indians. Okay, Adam was shot with an arrow in his chest. 被箭，弓箭的箭，这个射中他的胸部. And he cried out as he fell. So 当他倒下来的时候，他喊叫. In the house, Ida, this is the wife, heard his cry, 听他喊叫. She knew that Indians had attacked. 她知道这个印第安人就开始进攻啊. Going on. One man, 当然这个是印第安人, okay? One man opened the door, 就开他们家的门, and looked inside. Ida grabbed the gun, okay? And the renegade was killed. 那个叛乱者，这个印第安人是被杀的. Going on. Ida ran to the entrance. Okay, so that now she's running to the door. She's run to the entrance, 这个门口, and she shut the door. And then it says she lowered the bar to lock it. Do you know what lowered the bar means? To lower the bar, simply they usually had a bar and they just lowered the bar down, and it's kind of like locking the door. This is how they lock the door. Actually, in hotels today, your door is locked, and then they have something else to put there. It's a double lock. So it's a similar idea going on. Even as I tell the story, 直到我现在讲这个故事, the whole idea of killing seems foreign. 这个要杀来杀去，对我来说是很陌生啊。But being foreign to me also 不单只是陌生, it also means that I don't like it. And that's true. I absolutely do not like killing in any form. Okay? So, but those were harsh and lawless times. Lawless, we know. You know what lawless means? Lawless means 没有律法的时代. Harsh, very difficult, 很严厉, 很辛苦的一个时代. Going on. A loud knocking rattled the door. Somebody was trying to get in. A loud knocking rattled the door. Soon a hole appeared. So they started to 打一个洞在这个门口. And as soon a hole appeared, and an Indian stuck his head in to look around. And so somebody stuck their head in to look around. Going on. That renegade was killed as the woman tried valiantly to save herself and her children. 那位叛乱者也是被杀. As the woman, 这个女人尽力勇敢地有勇气的要救她和她的孩子们. So you can see the woman now is trying to save herself and to save her children. Going on. Ida heard somebody on the roof. Ida 她女人的名字 heard 有人在这个房顶上 She guessed 她猜 that one of the Indians planned to climb down the chimney. So he was going to go down the chimney. 从这个烟囱要下来. Now, that was a creative way of getting in. So what did Ida do? Going on. She lit a quick fire. 很快的这个起个火. Okay. Started a fire. Lit means 起火, to light a fire. The Indian yelled, of course, because he didn't like the heat. It was burning him. He lost his balance. 失去他的平衡. And what happened? He fell into the room. Okay, he fell down the chimney. He fell in the room. Okay, 掉在这个房间里面，他也被杀的. Okay, going on. The rest of the renegades, 其他的这个叛乱者 gave up. What does it mean to give up? to 放弃. And then they ran away. They ran away. Ida and the children mourned for their loss. What does it mean to mourn? 哀悼. This is when you're grieving. This is when you're sad. This is when you're 非常难过. Okay, 哀悼. So they gave up, they ran away. Ida and the children mourned their loss, and they buried Adam in the yard. 他们就把 Adam 这个埋在院子里，埋葬，这个埋在院子里。Going on. About a month later, 差不多1个月之后, a handsome young trapper dismounted by the gate. Okay, there are a number of words here. So let's just take a look at this. First of all, it's a month later, a handsome英俊 young 又年轻 he was a trapper. Okay, do you know what the difference between a hunter is and a trapper? A hunter is 猎人. Why? Because he uses a gun. Usually a gun, 这个来福枪等等. Okay? What is a trapper? He doesn't use a gun. He uses traps. 要抓这个野兽，捕兽者. Okay, because we have an ER on the end of this, don't we? So we have to put a 者 on that. 捕兽者. He doesn't use a gun. He uses other ways of trapping the animals. So now that a month later, this handsome young trapper dismounted. What does it mean to dismount? Dismount means that he rode his horse, riding the horse, up to the gate, 到门口, okay? And then he dismounted. What does it mean? That means to get off the horse. Sometimes a horse is called a mount. A mount. So to dismount means to get off of the horse. Going on. And here's what he said. I'm John Brighton. He announced. I'm John Brighton. 他宣布 announced. I've come to extend my condolences over the loss of your husband. I have come to 表示我的哀悼，关于你们已经死的这个丈夫啊 ，OK， 表示 to extend my condolences. Going on. He tied up his horse. It's interesting. He tied up his horse, 把他的马这个绑在那个地方 and came right to the point. He came right to the point. That means he didn't 斗院子, he didn't beat around the bush. You know, sometimes some people beat around the bush. He came right to the point. What is right to the point? 他的直接说 What did he say? Going on. You'll be needing a man to make things work properly in this place. You need a man. 你需要一个男人 Why? Because to make things work properly in this place. 使这个地方一切都能够运作得好 Okay, that means everything, life will continue on and go correctly. So you need a man. So he says, you need a man. Going on. The preacher will be in town tomorrow. Ida, will you marry me? Whoa, whoa. 明天这个传道人会来我们的这个地方，这个城镇。Ida，你愿意嫁给我吗？跟我结婚呢 ？Marry me. Whoa! Now that is fast. Very, very fast. Going on. Why, yes, Mr. Brighton. And her answer was very quick. Very good. I'd be very pleased to marry you. Okay, 我很喜欢跟你嫁给你。Okay, to marry you. Now, going on, that was a short courtship. That was a short courtship. Do you know what a courtship is? Courtship is when a man and a woman, or a young man and a young woman, 谈恋爱. And courtship usually means a period of time. 有一段时间，有一些过程, a process is involved. That's courtship. You could say 谈恋爱, you could say the process of getting to know each other and falling in love and deciding to get married. All of these are part of courtship. In fact, we say he is courting her. Okay, that means he is, well, I was going to say chasing her, maybe not. Maybe she wants to be chased, okay, whatever. Okay, that was a short courtship. Right. The length of which is measured in nanoseconds. How long? How long was their courtship? 量这个长度，量这个时间in nanoseconds. Do you know what a nanosecond? You know what a second is? 一秒钟. A nanosecond is part of a second. Very, 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 very short. Nanoseconds, 叫 and it's passed. So that was how long their courtship was. Not very long. Go ahead. Again, I say times were different. 我再说一次，这个时代就不同。Okay? In fact, for several reasons, for几个缘故, I debated, I struggled, 我挣扎, debated and struggled in this case is the same thing. 我挣扎到底要不要说这个故事? I mean, let's face it. As far as I am concerned, going on, 因为我个人呢, that's Mrs. Ash and myself, we don't watch killing on TV. 我们不再看电视节目，这个杀来杀去，这个杀人犯等等等等. We don't watch any of that on TV. In fact, you'll be surprised, very surprised, because I'm doing television programs. You'll be very surprised. I don't even have a TV for that reason. 为了那个缘故我个人都没有电视机. We've never had television. Maybe I'll ask Mrs. Ash how it affected our children. So maybe get ready, because you're coming up here in a second. Okay, because I don't I don't want to watch killing. There's no need to watch killing going on. But I know of a real place. 我知道，我认识一个真正的地方 where there 在那个地方不会有人杀人的案子没有人杀，没有杀人犯不杀来杀去。And most people 大部分的人叫那个地方就是天国天堂。I believe that there is a real place and it's called heaven. Okay, Mrs. Ash, do you want to join me here? I don't even know what to start. Maybe we'll start with a real simple thing, and that is, how long did we court? Actually court.
Oh, probably about 3 years, would you say?
Yeah, about 3 years. So here was a courtship that was very short.
Yes.
Very, very, very short. But times were different. I mean, she had to, Ida had to understand that she needed somebody to help her.
To protect her, too.
To protect her,
Yes.
保护她. Okay, so times were different. But it took, for us, 3 years. During times of courtship, we need to be very careful on who we fall in love with.
That's right. And a longer time is better than a
Yeah,
short time
yes.
like this.
A long time is better than short time.
Yes, yes.
So take your time. Make sure that the person, 对方, is the right kind of person.
It's extremely important.
Very important. Oh, and it's important to give an email address too. Our email address, theoldprinciple@gmail.com, and our website is www.theoldprinciple.org. And with that, we ran out of time. What can we say? You'll just have to join us next time for another story.
Right. Bye.